G Money.
What's up, man?
I've been using this beard wash.
Oh yeah?
Maestro's classic beard wash.
Talk about it.
I walked in, got it, CVS, Target, you know what I mean? And the good people at Maestro's been taking care of me. You know, they got this beard butter, the beard restoration. Is it restoration? Is that the right word?
I don't know. But that's the same bid that if you put your name in, you get 10% off?
Yeah, 10% off at maestrosclassic.com. Maestros with an S. Why don't you use the product yet, G?
I have. Look, you see my beard growing, man.
Get yours today at maestrosclassic.com or walk in Target or CVS and get yours now. And you get 10% off if you put the Queens Flip code on the website. I'm from Queens. You caught your first body at what age?
13.
All right, so right now, okay. Grandma passed when you was 12 to 13. Tell us the story of what happened with that.
Well, I always held grudges. So I was a dude that used to always pluck me in the air when I played Asteroids. So I used to be kind of scared of him.
Asteroids is the game.
Yeah, again, I forgot. It was you had a spaceship and it was rocks coming at you.
I know what Asteroids is, man. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, I'll keep forgetting that. You know, you're a young man. You're a young man.
Yeah. In the game room.
Right, it was the game rooms then. So it used to always pluck me in the air. So I used to be scared to want to fight him then. Cause I was like, yo, man. I never lost a fight, but I wasn't going to lose a fight then. I was like, damn. So me and his older brother was cool. So I let him hold a diamond ring. So I went to get the diamond ring back. He wasn't trying to give it to me. So I said, oh, shit, this nigga's trying to play me.
The older brother or the guy that plucked
the older brother. So I knew where somebody kept a 357. So I went and got it. I went up on the hill, asked the dude for my ring. He ain't had me. I pistol whipped him. So the next day, the brother that used to pluck me came around. And he was like, yo. So I ain't had no gun or nothing on me. So I went to the refrigerator and got a Pepsi, a 32-ounce Pepsi, and put a paper bag over it. And I bluffed my way out. And then, I'll never forget, it was February 14th. And I was at a party, a house party. And they was like, yo, Shitty looking for you. And the ego, as you was talking about earlier, kicked in. So I went back, got the gun, and I went looking for him. So when I found him, I'm like, yo, what's up? I snuffed him. Now I want to fight because I said, oh, this dude went down for snuff. So he acted like he was reaching. I shot him in the ass, went back to the party. About an hour later, he was like, yo, shit, he died. I was like, oh, shit. So they snuck me out to Connecticut for a few months. And I came back, and I hit them streets harder. So now I knew, I didn't talk no more. It was all about violence. Getting money. I was the youngest dude up there getting money. So if you took something from me, I took something from you. And what I took from you, you wasn't getting back.
What made you think like that? Is it a situation where kill or be killed? Like, was it that?
Nah,
or is that like a myth?
It was not knowing how to deal with grief. So I was always angry. So if you did the least little thing to me, I want to inflict the most pain possible. So most of the time, I wound up somebody getting killed or broke up real bad with a bat. So, it's like, that's what the time. At that time, you had the Jamaican posses. You had everybody battling for territory. So if you was perceived to be weak, then they was coming for you. So I wasn't going to be prey. I was preying on people. So
first body at 13.
Yes.
What did that do for you in the streets? Like people knew that. They sent you out to Connecticut for a little while, and then for how long you was in Connecticut for?
About 2 months.
2 months, damn. That's a little while for real. And then they brought you back.
I brought myself back.
Oh,
actually, I was coming back and forth every weekend. I was sneaking back in.
Were police looking for you at that time for that?
They was looking for me, but back then, nobody really talk. You just hear about it. The family talk more than anything. But, like I said, I always made this. I didn't do anything to anyone that didn't do something to me or that wasn't a part of the streets. I never hurt an old person. I never robbed a woman. I never did none of that. If you was in the game, you was fair game. And that was my logic at that time. That's what kept me going right there.
And that logic is, do you still agree with that logic? If you in the streets and you should be fair game?
No, actually, I don't agree with none of the violence. If I could do it all over again, I would have did it differently. Because like I said, I was on the path to becoming a professional football player, if you ask me, and anybody that knew me. But now, where I'm at in my mindset today, I was an idiot. But I was blessed because I shouldn't be here for all the things that I've done. Like I said, if you Google it, you'll see it come up. And there's a lot of brothers that grew up with me that ain't here. They in prison, federal penitentiary for life, or they dead. So what was God? What was my favor for God? Why did he save me?
I see what you're saying.
So at that time, because when you don't know how to deal with grief, everybody used to say it's gonna be all right. It's not always gonna be all right. I needed help. I need to understand death. That was the first person that I actually loved and worship die on me.
Grandmother.
Right. And she was my hero. Everything I've done was because of her growing up, to make her happy, to see that smile on her face. So when I was taken away from me, nobody said, this is what death is, that you live, you die. Nobody explained that to me. So I was just angry. So, football was a release point. But when I did that first violent act to another person, it was like an orgasm, your first orgasm. It was that good. It was like a building was lifted off of me. Wow. So I just was like, yo, this was it. Then I said you could get paid for it. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna hire my gun out. Cause I was going, Slow down.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down again, cause I get caught up in the story. So, Shitty's gone. Connecticut, back and forth. Now, what are you getting money in the streets as far as like hustling, or you become a stick-up kid? Where does it go?
I never stuck up nobody.
So it's not stick up. Anything.
People used to just, pay tribute. They used to pay homage. Here you go. You don't have to stick up nobody. When you got that, when you come around, people, here you go.
At a young age like that?
Listen, man. What they said when you're young, you don't have the sense of, I thought I was immortal. Nothing could happen to me. If you shoot at me and miss, everything you've done die. I never got shot. I never got injured in the streets. Because I felt that I couldn't be touched.
So who was your guide? I mean, it was just you? Like who?
Well, I had a lot of guides, but like I said, the guy that I felt wasn't my mentor on the street was nice. He in the feds now. He was the one that seen past a lot of the shit that I was doing and try to get me to understand that to get money, you don't have to be violent. But I'm like, yo, man, whatever. This is me. But then he's had enough sense to let me be me. And once I seen he respect the fact that this is who I was able to listen to his advice. And my uncles and them, again, they always thought, because my pops, and they always thought, because of who they were, they talked down to me, they wouldn't talk to me. So I used to be like, bro, them off. Just get the fuck out of here. What y'all gonna do to me?
Your pops was a gangster as well?
Yeah. You ain't gonna do none of this, dude. But see, my pops come from an era where if you did something to him, he didn't react. See, and I thought that was some punk shit. But then months later, this guy found somewhere in the lot But you never would think that it was contribute to this crew. All right, I'm like, yo, damn, you know, that's just such as that. All right, what the fuck? He had it coming to him. But years later, when them indictments came down, I was like, oh shit, this is what they was telling me. You know, if you did something to me, you should knew I was coming at you. So did everybody else.
That's how you wanted it to be.
Yes, that's what I thought it had to be, right? Because growing up, when you see, like my pops used to take losses for $500,000, $300,000, and it was nothing to him. My uncles and it was nothing to them. Like they'd throw a big ass party. I'm like, what the fuck? This is a lot of money. $10,000 was a lot of money to me. Right? But when you hear these numbers and you like, damn, they ain't do nothing to this nigga. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with them? But then when the police was at me, now I knew why they ain't do nothing to these dudes. And then you find out this who had this guy clipped, this who had this guy clipped. But again, it was a lesson I had to learn.
So when you said your father, you said something important just now. My father used to talk down to me,
right,
and not to me. Did that bother you? Like, did that make you, or you just, that's my father?
I mean, I always had a problem with authorities after my grandmother passed. So if anybody talked down to me, it bothered me. But it was certain people I could transgress against and certain people that I couldn't. And I wasn't no fool now. This motherfucker bust you in the head. Like, hey, fucking kid. Like, you know, my uncle too. Like, they was gangsters.